Airflow Filter Services, we have Teresa Branch.
Hi, how's
Welcome.
it going? Yeah,
it's going
thank
super
you.
awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
And we appreciate your support as well.
Yeah, of course, of course.
And you love watching it too.
I do. I watch it every morning. I watch most of the shows, and I love watching it in the morning with my kids in the car, especially. It's hilarious.
You watch it in the car?
Well, I don't watch. I have it on the side, and I listen through the car. How's that? I listen through the car, and my kids listen to it, and
they do. That's awesome.
I don't know what was one day we were talking to. You guys were talking about being in traffic or something, and it makes you like
crazy
or dumb or brain dead. I don't know what it was. My daughter's like, "Are you kidding me, Mom? We're stuck in traffic right now." And I was like, "Well, this isn't traffic, this is school traffic." So anyway,
that's funny. That's super awesome.
So
well, awesome. We appreciate you and the whole family watching it and listening.
Yes.
Listening, not watching while you're driving,
listening.
So anyway, so tell me a little bit about Teresa and JR.
So JR, my husband, he grew up here in Paso Robles. He's a fourth generation Paso Robles. I, on the other hand, grew up in Southern California. I grew up in LA County. Moved up here in 2020. No, not 2021. That's would be bad. 2001, and went to school here for a little bit. Right before I went to Cal State Fullerton, I met JR. And literally a week later, moved to Sacramento, and to finish out my schooling. And JR and I kept in touch, and we just started dating. And once I graduated, I moved back, and we've been together ever since. And we have now 3 kids, range of 14, almost 15, 11-year-old, and a 14-month-old.
Wow!
Yeah, live right here in Templeton. Yeah. So,
wow, you're going to be in sports for a long time.
I'm in sports for a long time. Doing it all over again.
Awesome. So let's talk about your business. So Airflow Filter Services.
Yeah, Airflow Filter Services.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so Airflow Filter Services was originally opened in 1985 down in Santa Maria. Jim and Patty Turbeek, they bought the business in 1990. Then in 1992, they moved it up here to Paso Robles, where it is now, and been there ever since. And JR has been working there since 1998 when he was 18 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's been around for a long time.
And so you're located just past Firestone?
Just past Firestone at basically the end of Ramada Drive before you get kind of to the railroad tracks. We're across the street from Trailer Barn. We're in the same building as Fastenal. It's just right around that little curve. You can see us on the Spring Street exit.
Okay.
You can kind of see us there. If you look to your right, it's where all the accidents happen on the freeway there.
Right, yeah. Yeah, right before you come into town and everybody hits everybody.
Yes, exactly.
So tell me a little bit about what your services are there.
So our services include cleaning dirty air filters. We clean dirty diesel particulate filters also by heating those up. We wash the filters. We also make hydraulic hoses for trucks, tractors, all your big equipment. We can do that. People bring in their hoses and we replicate them for them so that it's exact same thing that they already have. And we also take waste oil up to 55 gallons per trip. You can only bring 55 per trip. And then once you get past 15 gallons, it's $1.15 per gallon. So, like on a normal basis, if you're going to change your oil, you're not going to have 15 gallons. So it's free. You just bring it over,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So I will say that, we stopped in there 2 weeks ago and was chatting with JR, kind of getting preparation for the show here.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised at what all was in there because, I've never been in there before. And I was like, man, JR, you got all the stuff that we usually go buy from these big stores, but we need to let people know about you guys, because you had 2-stroke oil for the dirt bikes, which you have AMSOIL.
We have AMSOIL.
You have, you can make hydraulic hoses.
Yep.
You've got, everything from, degreasers to, engine oils for, diesel trucks. You have hot shots, for the engine treatments. You have obviously filter services. You have more than just filters.
Yeah, we have, there's tons. Everything you said, we have, we even have batteries. We have batteries for cars, trucks, ATVs, golf carts, whatever you need. We also got specialty tools that we can we have some there in stock, but we can order them. And the nice thing about us is that we either get it that day or we can get it overnight to us and you have it the next day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is awesome. Yeah. So it's pretty good because you can come in there and you're like, wait a second, you have this? Or you know what they do? They sit there and they do their little magic and they're like, okay, this is what you need. You need this filter. You need this oil filter, air filter. You need this oil. You need that oil. It's easy.
No, that's perfect.
You just need your truck or whatever model, whatever year. They just do their little magic and there you go.
Right on. So, so tell me, how did you guys come about now being the owners?
So in 2019, Jim and Patty were ready to retire. They, and they wanted to go to their kids, but their kids were already grown, doing their own thing, and actually their two boys worked for Airflow. And then they moved on. They got their own jobs. They did whatever. And they're like, yeah, we don't want it. So they offered it to JR and, JR came to me and the deal was just too hard to pass up. And, we were just like, let's do it. JR knew the in and out, he was already the manager. So he was already doing what basically Jim was doing besides signing a check, so, and, we started the buying process 2019 and January 7th, 2020. Signed the papers and it was all ours.
Wow.
Yeah. So
congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. So we've been going and, when we first took ownership, it was during COVID. It was right when COVID hit. So we were terrified. Yeah. We're like, how is this going to happen? So, here comes, keeps going. And we're seeing record numbers. We're like, wait a second, what's going on? How are we staying this busy? So I don't know what it was. I don't know if people were just being at home and they're like, hey, I can work on my tractor now. I can work on my old truck. I can do this. But we stood busy. We were able to keep all our employees full time. They were all paid. I mean, didn't have to let anybody go. We even hired a new person.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was amazing. So
that's very cool. And that's the scariest part, to where, you're already, this ball is already moving forward in this process. And then, something like that happened. You're just like, oh my God, what did we just do?
Exactly.
So that's awesome.
So, it's pretty awesome. And the fact that, we're going on our 4th year, it's pretty amazing.
Wow. So. And then, so JR would be the second oldest employee there, or isn't Dan
Dan is the oldest employee.
Dan has just been passed over.
Dan has been there. Oh my gosh, I just did the math. Is it going on
30 years?
31, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this July is 31 years. And then we have our other employee, Sandy, who's part-time, and he's been there for just 1 year later. So about 29 years, something like that.
Oh, that's awesome. And and I think that's really important, as far as like any type of, especially local business, people like to, familiar face, they like to know, but they also like to go in there and, know that the person that they're talking to knows what they're talking about.
Exactly.
We've all been into an auto parts store when that person on the other end has zero clue of what, a filter is or what, what is better, this, spray versus that, it's like, they're just like, I don't know. It's like, so, that's awesome. Why, Dan's there, JR's there, and, that knowledge is there.
Yeah, exactly. And, and when they call in, I answer the phones in the back and they know exactly who they want to talk to. If it's for a specific thing, they're like, okay, I need to talk to JR. Or if I'm getting this delivery, pretty soon I'll just talk to Dan.
Right.
They know. And it's so funny to walk in there and they're just, up front at the counter, just talking away, having their coffee and cookies, which our customers love, by the way.
Yeah.
And, but they just talk away, whether, it has to do with their business, whether it's their truck, whether it's like, hey, do you think you could get this down the road or,
That's
whatever.
Great.
So it's great. It's awesome. Yeah.
So you guys also do, you're not just a location based, you're service based too.
Yeah. We're service based and, we deliver all the way Monterey County, all the way down to Ventura County. And we don't charge delivery fees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, obviously we're not going to just deliver like this tiny little filter, or whatever. Most of these big guys are ordering quite a few things, or we're picking up their waste oil, drums of waste oil or, whatever they have. And we have different farms and different people where, you know, we go maybe every other week where we know we have to go there to pick up certain things. So yeah, so you know, we service a lot of things. So
that's great.
Yeah.
And that's great, especially in the area that we live in.
Exactly.
You know, with all the wineries and the farms and the, you know, I mean, there's just so many. I would imagine that you're probably busy just up in our county alone.
In our county alone, exactly. Because in our county alone, I mean, we're dealing with breweries, we're dealing with farmers, we're doing with wineries, we're doing construction companies. You know, Firestone right up the street. We're dealing with them. They come down, they get what they need, and they're off. You know,
that's awesome.
Who else is right down the street? Barrel House. Barrel House was just in there getting stuff. So, you know, it's awesome that we can just provide this, you know, service, these products for our local people.
Very cool. Yeah. And you also said that you have, I mean, so tell me a little bit about the filter service itself, because we were talking a little bit about that before.
Yeah. So you can bring in your dirty filters and we clean them right on the spot for you. We have, we wash them for you, then we dry them out. Or like the bigger ones where we use the heat to cook them, to basically cook them and get them clean for you so that you can reuse your filters. You know, some of those filters still have life in them. So people want to be able to reuse them. And then, you know, if we're like, hey, you know, this just ain't going to do, you know, then we tell the customer, you know, you need a new filter. So, and most people understand, because some people get a lot of life out of them and some people get a little life out of them. So,
right. That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
and then any specialty products that you guys offer?
You know, our specialty products is just the fact that we have different oils, like, you know, our AMS oil, and yeah, like our AMS oil, our lubricants, our oils, certain filters that you can't find anywhere else. Most of the time we have majority of that stuff, and it's stuff that you can't find other places. You know, there's other places that call us and ask us if we have them. So, you know, that's most of our specialty stuff. And, you know, we got specialty tools too. So, you know, it just depends what your needs are.
Now, has JR gotten you in the trenches yet there and making hoses and swapping out the oil bins and stuff?
Yeah, no, he does all that. Like he's done everything. You know, he's made the hoses. He's taught our guys how to do it. I don't know if he taught Dan, because, you know, Dan's been there a little longer, right. But he's taught all our other employees how to do it. You know, he's taught them the ropes, you know, down from our computer system to the different oils for the different trucks. You know, he taught them how to look it up. He taught them how to research it. You know, he does everything. He's got his hands on everything. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, tell our viewers again where you're located, how they get in touch with you, how they can start supporting your business.
Yeah. So we're located at 1140 Ramada Drive in Paso Robles. You can look us up on Facebook, Airflow Filter Service. You can give us a call, 805-238-7076. Our email address is airflowjr1@gmail.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Teresa, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we really, appreciate your support. Of course. And, you know, we're going to do everything we can to get people going to your place as well.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, there you go.
Great.
Well, there you have it, guys. We want to thank Teresa with Airflow Filter Services for coming in and telling us about their business on Ramada Drive, just past Firestone, guys. Go out there and check them out, because they got a lot of stuff there on the showroom that is help you in the garage. But as always, guys, we can't do this without our sponsors: Escalar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Rancho Sestero Meat Cutting, Pillar Real Estate, 805 Customs, now Airflow Filter Services, and Amy and Jamie's Place, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.